Hello guys, this is Mike from programming.org. I wanted to share this awesome website with you and also a little bit about Sass or SCSS or SASS. They're very related. It is really up to you which one you like. I like Sass. And it's actually a little bit more complicated to use, like if you're using Sublime Text or just any of those text editors. But I found this website called Codepen.io, and they allow you to use Sass very easily because Sass needs to be compiled, and it does the compilation automatically on here, so we can mess around and make our own web page. You can go here, you can sign up, which costs a little bit of money. I didn't sign up, I just use it for free. I guess there's some benefits to signing up, like you get to keep your stuff, or I don't know what you get to do with it. But anyways, there's some stuff here, like if you're familiar with GitHub, you can go into stuff and kind of branch off and do your own thing with somebody else's work. So you can kind of do the same stuff with some stuff people have done here, which is really cool. So I'm talking fast because I tried to record this video earlier and I made a few mistakes on this one little dumb thing. And so what I have here, just to save a little bit of time, is I made some dumb little thing, and I'm going to make a box on a light silver background. And this is the content I have unstyled right now, and I'm going to use CSS, and you can go in here and pick if you want to use Sass with the .sass, or you can use Sass with SCSS. I don't know what style this is, and I've heard of less, but I've never used any of those except for this one, and it makes CSS awesome. So one thing we can do that's very important is variables, and the way we do that is we say a $, and I'm going to give it a descriptive name, turquoise. I don't know how to spell that, but that's as good as I can do. Colon, give it a space, and give it a hexadecimal color. And what was it? I think it was 0099FF. Okay, and we don't need a semicolon. If we put a semicolon, we're going to get an error, and it will let you know you have an error right here, and it'll tell you what's wrong. So we don't need semicolons, and mostly we don't need curly brackets except for if you want to do functions, and that's a little bit more up there, because like I said, this isn't a tutorial, it's just a showing off Sass and Codepen. So another thing I want to do is I want to use light gray, and let's give that to CCC. Here we go, CCC. And I don't know I need to make any other ones right now. I'm not worried about that. Alright, so to target every element, do that, and we don't need curly brackets, so do about 2 spaces over, and I'm just going to say margin 0. And notice that I made a space right here, because if I didn't, I'll do an example using padding, and we will say 0 like that, and it's no good again, so we need that space, and the error goes away, and just about in live time this thing updates. It may be like a second behind. So now we have that. What else can we do? Let's set a background for the body, and let's say background, and now this is where we get to use the variables. Now we can say light gray, and it turned light gray. And variables are very helpful when you have a big color scheme where multiple things on your site are the same color and you need to change that color. It is a pain to go to every single element in your CSS file and change it. So it's best to change it up here, and you only have to change it once, and anything that has this whatever variable you're using at the time will change for all of them. So that is very efficient, and it will keep you from making huge mistakes that take up a lot of your time. Alright, so we got that light gray. What else do I want to do? Alright, so let's just start targeting the box class. Let's say I want the width to be about 50%. Alright, so we got that. Let's give it a border real quick just so we see what we're working with. So we'll say border, and want a border of 1 pixel, and we'll have solid, and I'll just say black. Alright, so now we know what we're working with, and we want to have this not up against the left corner. So let's add some margin real quick. I'm going to say margin, and I'm just going to use 2 margins. I'm going to say, let's say 20 pixels in auto. And what that should do is, that doesn't look like 20 pixels, but anyways, it's off the top a little bit, and 20 pixels on the bottom. So this is top and bottom, and then this is left and right. And this is equivalent to saying, well, anyways, this isn't a CSS tutorial. So we got this. Let's give it some padding. That should take the letters off the border real quick. I'm just going to say, let's say like 15 pixels. That might be too much. No, that works. Oh well. Alright, and now if you want to have inheritance, this is really cool. Oh, I need a background of white. Background white. Alright, and now if we wanted to, instead of saying dot box h2 like we would in normal CSS, all we have to do is write the h2 with that same indentation underneath that, and it knows to target the h2s within the box class. So let's just give this a color of turquoise. So let me see if I can remember how I spelled it. Turquoise. Okay, it worked. So now that is the way it is. Did I do a font family? No, I didn't. Alright, so let's do font, and I'm just going to change it to sans serif, however you say that. We'll say font family, what did I call it? Font, yeah, there we go. So the text changed to a little bit more modern text. And now we're going to target the paragraph in here, and I want to give it some margin at the top to separate it from that title. Margin top, let's say, actually I'm going to do it short. I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to say a top margin of 10 pixels, right margin of 0 pixels, a bottom margin of 10 pixels, and a left margin of 0 pixels. Alright, that works. And now what we can do is, let me style that footer real quick. Footer, and we want to say text align to right. Alright, and maybe font weight bold. Alright. Doesn't look bad, but doesn't look great. But anyways, so what else do I want to do? I think I want to give it a bigger margin. Let's just say 50 or 60. Alright, there we go. I'm going to take away this border. I usually use borders mainly just to see what I'm working with, how much area I have. But once I'm happy with it, I take it off. But I am going to give it a box shadow. So let's do a box shadow, and I'm going to give it 0, 0, and then let's give it about 8 pixels of this little fade thing behind it. And that's kind of dark, so to make it a little less dark, I'm going to give it some opacity, which means how much you can see through it. And a cool way we can do this is, before box shadow you need, I guess this is bottom, or top or bottom, left or right, or vice versa, whichever one it is. And then this is the shadow fade, and this is the color. So I'm going to give it a RGBA, and that's a red, green, blue, and I guess alpha is what it's called. So I'm going to give it black, which would be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then for the opacity, which goes from 0.0 to 1.0, I'm going to give it, and I think 0.0 is the clear, and 1.0 is fully visible. So I'm going to give it a really small one, like 0.4. Alright, and notice it's a little more subtle, looks a little bit better. And there's some other cool things we can do. Let's just go to P, because I don't like the way the paragraph looks. Let's say text, indent. Let's just give it like 20 pixels. Alright, so that looks a little bit better. So that's nothing special, but it's just a real quick example of how to use Codepen and Sass, and these variables are really cool. So let's change the background real quick, and I'm going to change it to something random. I'm just going to press a bunch of 6 random things. Okay, so there, it changed, which was really easy instead of having to go in the other one. Like I said, when you have a million things that have this same color, it's a godsend that this came about. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe below if you haven't, and I am trying to get my website some more content, so check that out as soon as you can. Thank you guys.